Hi there. I wanted to tell you a story. When I was about 6 years old, that was the first time I was going water skiing, and I watched my older brother and sister do it, and I had an opportunity to try it in this beautiful place called Bassings Beach in Cohasset, Massachusetts, out in the ocean. And I went up, and as I was being pulled out of the water, I got up the first time on two skis, but as I was being pulled out of the water, the rope wrapped around my hand and it pulled my hand off of the bar that I was holding. So I could only hold the bar with one hand, and the rope pulled my other hand forward. My dad was driving the boat, and there was somebody else in the boat. I think my mom was in the boat, but they're pretty far away because you're at the end of the rope, right? And they could see that I'd gotten up. They were very excited that it gotten up. And I'm like, I can only hold on with one arm. And all I'm thinking is, if I fall, I'm going to drown because I'm going to get dragged behind the boat because I can't get my hand free. So I'm like 6 years old. Like, I'm not thinking very clearly at this point. So I actually grew up going to Sunday school, and I would pray about things. And so I was like really like asking God for help. It's like, I just want to stay up, God. I just want to stay up. Just let me stay on my feet. So I made it all the way around this big loop and went all the way around this big loop of this bay. It was pretty choppy. It was like not smooth like a lake. It was a little bit choppy because it's ocean. I made it all the way around, and my little legs are going, my hand and the rope is getting deeper and deeper into my hand. Get all the way around. And because I'm doing so well, my dad decides to go around again because I'm doing so well, and he wants me to have this big victory. And here I am, I like trying to like call out and say and they can't hear me because the wind is going the other way. Anyway, so we go around again. I make it around a second time, and finally they realize there's something. I was like saying something. They realized that something was not quite right, so they got my dad made a way for me to go in and like just stand in the water. And there was this big kind of ridge around my hand. And there was a wonderful healing involved with all of that. And what I realized with that, I don't know, I'm not sure why I'm telling you this story. There was another story that I will tell you. Standing on a roof, this is more recent, we were in the middle of building a house, and I was up on this roof of a very, this whole wall was going to be a big slider, like a 20-foot long sliding glass door. So there's this big opening in the wall. And this was LA, and we were about to be like descended on with this massive rain. So we were up on the roof, we were in the mid-construction, up on the roof, draping these big tarps over this big gaping hole in the wall so that it wouldn't get all wet and everything. So I'm walking backwards, stretching out this tarp, and I get this voice in my head, stop. And I'm just about to take another step back, stop. And I stopped. And if I had taken a step back, I would have stepped off the roof and fallen 20 feet to the ground, probably onto concrete. Probably wouldn't have been a good scenario, but I was protected in that moment. I was protected in the water skiing incident, like how to stay up when I hadn't ever water skied before, twice around this big bay on choppy water. And I was able to like just listen to keep your knees bent, and like little intuitions that were coming to me. Well, what is that power that protects us and guards us and guides us? We see, videos online of, I just saw one yesterday of this deer buck that came into a guy's garage and like wouldn't leave and kept standing there, not violent, but got the guy to follow him out into the woods where a little fawn was stuck in a hole in the mud. Some of you may have seen this video, and all the people, rushed around, but he didn't go anywhere until people helped him. Well, what got him to go into the garage? What got the man to follow the buck? Love. Like the guarding and guiding force of the universe, of all that is love. We're all being guided by it. It is the law of God. Love. God is love. Like that is God manifested. Love expressed is God manifest. Like, are we listening to all the love that is being expressed to us? And are we listening to those little whispers, those little love whispers that would guide us to help somebody else? Are we yielding to that and letting ourselves be guided and governed and healed? Because love is present and love is operating, and it is always available to all of us. And the fact that it happens with animals as well as with people, doesn't that give you some indication that this is beyond sort of human intellect and human reasoning? This is love that is governing all of us. And it's such a wonderful truth and reality that we can kind of relax into and rest in and say, thank you. Thank you, love, for taking care of me. Thank you, love, for guiding me. Thank you, love, for showing me the way. Thank you, love, for saving me from falling off the roof. Thank you, love, for keeping me up on two little skis when I was a little 6-year-old skiing around this bay in the ocean for the first time. Thank you, love, for guiding me. So every healing, every opportunity to express this, every moment of guidance, when disasters don't happen, thanking God. When we're healed from what would seem to be or feel like a disaster, thanking God. When we are guided to help someone else and guide them from a disaster that might have otherwise happened, thanking God. It's like, thank you, God. Thank you, love, for being present and guarding and guiding us. Anyway, I wanted to share. There's no guilt in all of that either. There's just love. So no fault, no blame, no guilt, no shame. We are loved, and we get to accept that and live our lives with that and as that. Okay.